Yo, yo, how's everyone doing? Niggas are mad at Lizzo and shit.
What she do now?
She called Janet the queen of pop.
Oh, I did see that. Well, she is. Like, what is the debate? Beyonce not better than Janet. I'm saying that, and I like Beyonce. I have her first solo album. I think it's a classic, but she not better than Janet.
Hell no.
Janet is the queen of pop, like her brother was the king of pop, the king of pop. So, I don't see what's wrong with Lizzo's list. The one thing that we were talking about was who's the queen of R&B. I don't think there's a clear cut favorite. You know what I'm saying? Is it Tony Braxton? Is it Brandy? Who is the queen of R&B? You might have to go back to the '70s for that.
Is it Mariah?
Nope, because she did pop. She
True.
was she was mostly pop than R&B. Is it Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight? We got to go back to the '70s for the queen of R&B.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The '80s was a lot of pop. Other than Janet and Whitney, who was really big in the '80s for females, it was Janet and Whitney, and they were pop
Shaka too.
and Shaka, right? '90s. You have a whole plethora of singers. A lot of them are not even mentioned. Monica was good. I don't think she was the queen of R&B though. Faith Evans, underrated singer. You know, if I had to pick one for the '90s, I'm going with Tony Braxton. But Brandy had a run. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
Tony in the 90s was unstoppable.
Lauren is not an R&B artist to me. She had one album. That don't make her R&B. Mary against Lauren, I think is beating Lauren easily. Tina Turner was different genres. She was rock, she was pop, little R&B.
Oh no, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know. Queen of R&B. Who is the queen of R&B? That's a good topic we need to talk about. Mary J. Blige, yes. Queen of hip hop soul. We talking about queen of R&B, just R&B. Who's the queen of R&B? I don't know. Anita Baker, maybe. Sade. I love Sade. Ruth Brown. I don't know. Sade ain't R&B. What is Sade then? Mariah. I don't look at Mariah straight R&B. She was mostly pop. Mary has quality. She has a lot of classic albums. I think if you put her first four against Lauren's one album, Mary's still beating her. Both great artists. I've seen both of them in concert. Great artists. But Lauren ain't stay around that long. At heart, she's a jazz. Yeah, but she have R&B in her jazz. Shaka Khan is great. Whitney was pop. She was R&B too, but she was more pop singer. It might have to be one of them. It might have to be Whitney or Mariah, even though they were pop artists, but they did R&B also. So it just would have to be a mix. I don't think we have like a straight R&B queen, unless Moonflower said Shaka Khan or Gladys or Rita. It might have to be one of them. Diana Ross, was she straight R&B? It would be, I don't know, Lizzo. I don't have a problem with Lizzo list. Smooth jazz, yes, she's jazz, but she has R&B in her music also. If you look at like Soul Train, if Soul Train ever nominated Sade, it was the R&B category. Diana was great. Is she queen of R&B? What y'all thought about the Donda album? I know you're dying to hear what I think about it. Has anybody heard Donda yet? 50 Cent, yes, I know. I heard about 50 Cent being in the Expendables.
What's up?
You
I
haven't
heard
heard Donda yet?
Sade.
You haven't heard Donda yet? Really? I thought you was gonna all ask me about all these Donda questions.
Shit, ain't nobody trying to hit up 27 songs and shit. I'm
I
still
like
listening.
I
I'm
like
still listening
Donda.
to King's Disease.
Fuck that. No, it's about Donda right now. I like Donda. I think Donda is a great album. I do. I think Kanye is back. He sounds focused. He sounds happy where he's at in his life at this point. And we should all support him, especially the black community, because the white kids are gonna support anything that he drop. They eat it up, whatever it is, a Yeezys or a new album, whatever. I'm seeing comments online about people don't like it. They want old Kanye back. They want, it's too gospel for them. Meanwhile, we've had artists like Tupac have gospel in his music. How many songs did he have? The title was Lord something or Heaven in the title.
Interesting.
He didn't use a choir like Kanye, but Tupac has had gospel in his music. So has Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? If West Side Gun come out right now with a gospel album, all produced by Alchemist, people will eat it up. You know that already. Donda is his best album since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Better than Pablo, better than Jesus, and I like Jesus. I think me and Anton was the only one on here that like Jesus. I like Jesus. It's a dope ass album. You know what I'm saying? Pablo was dope, but he kept fucking with the mastering for that album even after it dropped. He took songs off and he kept adding shit on there. I don't even think I've seen a physical copy for Pablo ever. Is that even on physical? I don't think it's on physical. You know what I'm saying? The Wyoming album, I didn't really care for. You know what I'm saying? But this is a real album. 27 tracks, no stupid skits. You're getting 4 or 5 minutes every track. It's a real album. Now this could be easily a double album. Like Def Jam is not promoting it like a double album, but what's the last double album you heard that had 27 tracks? If I'm not mistaken, didn't Order War had 27 tracks? And Dipset, Diplomatic Immunity, and those were classic double albums. This is a great double album. I like it. I don't like there's certain songs I don't care for, but those are the ones with the trap artists. But the features are fire. You got the Locks on there. You got Jay Electronica. You got Westside and Conway. You got Jay Z, The Weeknd. It's a dope ass album. Okay, I love the production. There's certain songs on there that remind me of Jesus. There's songs on there that remind me of it could have been on 808s and Heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I like it. I don't have a problem with the gospel undertones because if he's really if he's really devout, have devoted to Christ now, that is a good thing. If that means, if that was the way of him saving himself and not committing suicide, then that's a great thing. People need to support that. That he's not out here like, when, how many artists have we seen that kill themselves? DJ AM, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, Robin Williams. The list goes on. How many artists that we've seen or movie stars that have took their life? If this right here is Kanye's way of saying that he is saved and he's not using it for a publicity stunt, then I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I think where he's at, if people can accept Nas for where he's at, doing them shitty albums with Hit Boy, then we could accept where Kanye is at in his life and support it. And I think it's a dope ass album. I need this on a physical copy though. Kanye needs to release this on CD or vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Because
Interesting.
this is an album that I can play over. I can play this album repeatedly. You know, this is like his final tribute to his mom, and it took many years to complete. And I think he paid he did a good job, so, paying tribute to his mom with this album, in my opinion. So I think it's a dope album. I think it's dope. You know, he's running out of ideas. Well, what do y'all expect to hear? Like, y'all expect to hear him fucking supermodels and being the Louis Vuitton Don? He's not. He's no longer in that space no more. This man has kids. How many kids he have with her? Like 3 kids, 4 kids,
3.
3 kids. He has 3 kids, and he's about to divorce her. Like, this is where he's at in his life right now. Jay Z's no longer talking about flipping bricks in Marcy projects. He's not living that life no more. He can never do another in my lifetime. This is where these artists are at in their life, and I'd rather them speak the truth about where they at in their life than to be, fronting like they still on the block selling cocaine. It's not believable. It's not. That wouldn't go over with the heads. You know what I'm saying? If I saw the Nas interview on Apple with Ebro, and if Nas told him this is where he's at in his life and he's comfortable doing albums with Hip Hop, if he's comfortable, salute to him. I'm just not gonna fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Nas gave us many classics 20 years ago. I'll just stick with that. I don't care for hip hop. I think he's overrated. That's just me. But if Nas is happy, then salute to him. If Kanye's happy where he's at right now, and this is like the only way to save him, then we need to support that. You know what I'm saying? We need to support that. It's not like this is the first time he's talked about gospel. Y'all remember Jesus Walks? That was a gospel song. Like, hello, he got a Grammy for that song. You know what I'm saying? That was like the first like rap song to be
I'm
played on
tired of that
radio.
stuff.
To be played on radio, that was gospel. So it's not like he just started doing this shit. This is nothing new.
Out of that Jesus Walk song.
Huh?
I'm tired of
You
that
tired of
Jesus.
Jesus? I love that song.
Jesus
I
walks.
love it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a religious person like that. I believe in certain shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think if this was his way of saving himself, then we need to support that. You know what I'm saying? He's still here. He's still breathing. He's still dropping music. That's all we can ask for. To me, I think it's one of his best projects in the last 10 years. So that's how I feel about Donda. So nobody need to ask me no more. What do you feel about Donda? I just told you how I feel about Donda. I fuck with it. I like it.
Niggas.
You know, I like and also there's something I'll talk to Reg about this. There's something that I thought I would never say on the sequel to Jail. I actually like the Baby's verse more than Jay-Z, and I never thought I would
Ev-
say that. I'm not a big
Everyone's
Baby
saying
fan,
that.
but it's a dope verse because he's actually saying shit. That's what it comes down to: lyricism and bars. He's not mumbling. He's actually saying something that's worth listening to. So salute to the baby. I like the baby's verse on Jail Part Two. I thought it was a better verse than Jay Z.
Hmm.
That's just what it is. It don't mean I'm gonna run off and start listening to the baby shit. I like the verse. Okay, we got to give props where props is due. That's just what it is. He had a dope verse on the song. You know what I'm saying? If other people are saying it, that means they feel the same way. That he actually was saying shit. You see, you can actually be a dope artist when you're saying shit and not mumbling. You know, I told BJ this shit. He thinks I'm off my rocker. He's like, yo, you're bugging. I'm like, yo, maybe it's just me.
Nah, cause I'm sorry, but I feel like I heard some of Donda.
Hmm.
I
But
just
but
it was
what it
down.
but what it yeah. But BJ is saying that it's weirdo music. What is weird about it?
I don't know.
Is
BJ
it
be
is it
saying
the
shit.
gospel?
BJ be saying some shit.
Is it the gospel undertones of the album, or is it like just the music itself that he don't like? Because I don't look at it like it's not like the last two albums. It's not like the Jesus is King album to me. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, he has the gospel messages are there, but this is where he's at supposedly in his life. As long as it's not a publicity stunt and he's really devoting his life to Christ or whatever, I have no problem with it. So if that's the case, we need to support where he's at in his life. Because God forbid if he end up killing himself tomorrow morning, then all these fake Kanye fans are gonna come out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, I always supported Kanye West. I always love it." And you wasn't bumping Kanye for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So let's be glad that he's still here breathing. He's making music, and if this is what it is for him and where he's at and he's happy, that's all we could ask for. And I'm happy. I think he sounds happy on the album. He sounds focused more than ever. I don't feel like he sounded focused on the other projects. And you know, I like it.
I'll
Drake
listen.
album,
I'll
Drake
listen
album's
to it
coming.
one day.
Drake album's coming Friday.
Fuck
I
Joe.
don't though. Is that the album cover for real? I don't like that album cover. I'm gonna tell you that already. So hopefully the album is better than the album cover. That album cover is trash. That album cover is trash. Okay, like there's no more creativity with album covers. It's obvious. The Donda is not even an album cover for Donda. It's just all like pitch black. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Kristen. If you like the album, that's all that matters. Do not listen to what people say on social media. Because obviously these people cannot think for themselves. Okay? I support the album. The album is if you trust what I've always been saying on here, then trust my judgment. Donda is a fire album. I'm not going by what people are saying on social media or they want old Louis Vuitton Don Kanye back. We're never gonna get that Kanye back. It's not gonna happen. Okay, he is elevated with each album. That's what he's supposed to do as an artist. He's elevated from college dropout and late registration and all that. This is where he's at in his life. You know what I'm saying? When Lecrae was doing gospel rap, how come I didn't hear nobody bitching and complaining then? You know what I'm saying? Ja Rule's been mentioned. We talked about every Ja Rule album. You all have been here. How many times did he mention the Lord in his raps?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna tell me Ja Rule was just mentioning the Lord because it was a publicity stunt? It was all about selling records? Maybe these people actually are religious and they do believe in God?
We never know.
I don't see what's the problem with that. I really don't.
I'm ready to start whenever you
Let's
are.
go.
What's up, you too? How's everyone doing this lovely Tuesday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
This is gonna be a double review. It's gonna be a Monie Love's two albums. We're gonna start off with um Down Down to Earth. That dropped in 1990. This is like an alternate cover that was on my Spotify. I actually like this cover way more than the known cover.
See, I like the yellow one.
I like the darker one
You
when
like the
she's like
darker
looking
one?
up.
She looks so serious there.
That's the point. I hate that whole yellow cover. It reminded me like a poor man's version of 3 Feet High
I
and
know.
Rising.
But she's from the native tongue family, and Moni Love is always been like a lighthearted, playful artist. She's not really. Like she's serious when it came to women issues, but she just looks so serious there, like she's ready to go to war.
Well, see, Queen Latifah, she was not the most serious artist too, but if you see her album cover, it represents
Right,
royalty.
right, right.
This just that album cover just represent. Hi, I'm Monie Love. But yeah, album came out with a lot of singles. I
Yes.
Can Do This, Grandpa's Party, Monie in the Middle. Cause I'm about sick of that Monie in the middle. Let me stop. It's a it's a shame. Down to Earth and Ring My Bell. No guest appearances on this one. Actually, no, scratch that. She has additional vocals by Ultra Nate Nate. I don't know who that is
Me
though.
neither.
Yeah, because this was like a house album too. So
Yes.
producers include Africa Baby Bam, um, Jungle Brothers fame,
Hmm.
ironically.
Oh, that's right, cause she was dating him.
Oh, word?
Yeah, she was dating him.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yeah, I heard her say on the Talib Kweli podcast when she was on there. I think it was earlier this year or last year. She was talking about, yeah, that that's how was her introduction to Native Tongues. Like he introduced her, he working on her album, and they were dating at the same time.
Oh wow, cocksucker salad. Let me stop. Um, yeah, Jerry Calendar, the Beatnuts, some of their earlier stuff that they've done.
Mm.
Dancing Danny D. Okay. Andy Cox, David Steele, and Richard Fermi. How did you get into Moni Love?
It was ladies first. You know, just seeing that video with Latifah and Monie, and they that was a great collab for women in hip hop at that time, and speaking on different women issues, and when Monie in the Middle dropped, I loved that song, and it was a playful video, and the girl in the video with her is actually LaShawn. You know LaShawn from LL Cool J doing it. That was, but she wasn't known as LaShawn back then though. She had a different name, but that was her in the video. Doing the chorus. Monie in the middle. Where they at? That was her,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and her coming from London. We already had Slick Rick, and then Monie comes over, and she. I always felt like she was underrated, and people didn't really take her seriously. And um, our first album, I barely remember it. I remember buying it on cassette back in the day, but I hardly played it, and I don't know. I think I was like disappointed with the album, like, but I was like really young when it came out. But yeah, I probably played that album like maybe once or twice and just put it down.
It's
But
too long.
yeah, that's another thing. But I didn't realize how long it was until I heard the album again last night. I don't even remember half of the songs on this album, but
Oh,
I like I liked the video, and back then videos were everything, and album covers. So like when you saw Monie in the Middle on Video Music Box or the Box or Young TV Raps, that would determine if you go out and get the album. And then looking at the album cover, and she had like the yellow and red with the red bucket hat and the red Vans or whatever, the red poke heads, and it was real colorful, and being also she had that co-sign from the Native Tongues, from being seeing her in the Buddy remix video with Latifah and De La, Jungle Brothers Tribe. So we already was aware of who she was, and then when it was time for her to go out on her own, and she came out with Money in the Middle, it was like, yo, this is a dope song. So I bought the album for like the song, and not even remembering the whole album. And then like through her career, we followed her, and she had a baby. I think she was pregnant when she was doing the first album, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
and she was pregnant. I remember seeing her on Soul Train, and I think she was still pregnant when she had performed on Soul Train the first time, and she had the baby. She had a daughter, and the second album came out. We talk about that and just following her through her career, and she's ended up doing radio stuff, and she's always been. I always felt like she was underrated. I felt like she was a dope MC. She was pretty on the eyes, and for whatever reason, she was just underrated. Like she wasn't showing a lot of skin. That had a lot to do with it. I don't feel like the other female MCs in the genre took her seriously either. So, and that's happened to a lot of them. So, I just felt like this is a female rapper that nobody discusses, and we need to discuss her only two albums because she's highly underrated to me.
Yeah, very underrated. Um, yeah, I'm gonna join the club. I heard her from Ladies First.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard Ladies First, I like it, and I still like it to this day.
Right,
But at the same time, we had this last week where I kind of said I kind of prefer come to my house more
right.
and shit like that.
See, and I didn't like that song when it, when it first came out. I thought it was because it's a club song, and rap at that time wasn't known for that. We wasn't known for the club songs like that. So like when that if somebody said, "Oh, you a rapper," but your first single is like a club sounding track, I basically ignored it. Like same thing with Jungle Brothers when they came out with "Girl I House You," I ignored that track because it didn't sound like a rap song to me. But they were supposed to be rappers. I'm like, well, where's the rap? Where's the actual boom bap? I'm not hearing it. You know what I'm saying? So where's the scratching? I didn't hear it. So that song I liked it like years later, but I didn't like that first song when it came out. And then when she came out with Ladies First, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is the rap song. I wanted to
Mm,
hear this so much. So
yeah, man. And I respect your opinion and shit. And I know how she was always down with Latifah. And I heard the first album years ago
right,
and stuff like that. And I've never really been like a quote unquote house fan like that.
right, same,
But with certain artists, like especially the native tongues, when they used to do shit like that, I didn't mind it.
right,
And whenever it's done right.
right, true.
Because even like when Marley Marl was trying to do that house shit, it didn't really go right with him.
No, not, especially not for Craig G. Hell no,
Jesus.
hell no. That just wasn't a good sound for Craig G.
Not a good sound indeed. He dropped the ball with that one.
Right.
Yeah, man. But Monie Love, from what I can find about her, she is an MC from the UK. No. Um Now she's a radio personality now, but at that time she was like the first British female hip hop artist to actually get nominated for a Grammy.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, man. I want to say she got discovered by Latifah. I'm gonna be real. I didn't take no notes because I was literally out all day,
Hmm.
and I thought that Wikipedia would have somewhat a much better thing, but no. So I'm gonna go off by
I
memory.
I know I know. I remember the interview she had with Tyler. Like she's like she was born in the UK, but I think her parents are Jamaican, and
Yeah.
she started like doing Jamaican music. This is like
Okay.
before she got signed, and then the rap came into play naturally, and then I forgot how she met Africa, but she was always hanging around them in the studio. Like when Dela was doing 3 Feet High and Rising, she was there, and they all were there together. So they all would like go out and eat and all that. And she was always with them, but she wasn't officially a member yet. And then when she got signed, being that she was always at the studio with them, she became a member. Along with Black Sheep and everybody else, and then Africa, she was dating Africa, and that's basically what happened.
Got you. Okay, thank you. That was much better than what I had already planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Queen Latifah, she liked her style and then that's when she put her up on Ladies First and shit. And then I think Warner Brothers, which Warner Brothers actually, signed her up and that's when they came out with the Down to Earth album.
Right.
Um yeah. So so this album has 17 songs. It was nominated for 2 Grammys, actually.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. 1990?
Yes,
Oh
the
wow.
1991 Grammy, excuse
Who
me.
won that?
Well, Monie in the Middle was nominated for Best Rap Solo Performance, but it lost to MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This.
Of course. Of course it
Right.
did.
That was the 1991 Grammys.
Mm.
And in 1992 Grammys, she was nominated for It's a Shame, but she lost to Mama Said Knock You Out,
Oh wow. So she wasn't gonna
which,
win all the way.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Hammer and LL,
Yeah,
they were on fire at that time,
definitely.
especially Hammer. Like,
Definitely. Yep.
Jesus,
With one album. It was crazy.
not one album.
Well, the one album that I liked from him, I didn't like Too Legit to Quit. I
Yeah, I
just
didn't
thought that
care.
was way too commercial.
I didn't care for Too Legit.
Yeah.
Let's Get It Started. I'm not gonna lie, it had some heat.
I never heard that one. That was the what, that was 89?
Yes.
I remember when that came
Turn
out, but I never heard
this
that one.
mother out.
Yeah.
That's my
I
shit.
used to always see that on MTV Raps.
Yeah, man. I'll never do a review on Hammer, but just let
That
y'all
that
know.
might be fun though.
You
Hammer.
really want to review an MC Hammer album? The guy that did not want to do Nelly or Metallica.
I never listened to them though. I listened to Hammer. I grew up listening to Hammer Vanilla Ice. I said that before. I bought Vanilla Ice first album. I bought Hammer. Please tell me don't hurt him. I bought Too Legit to Quit and I threw it away because it was
Mm.
terrible. Did
Okay,
not like it.
so if you were to pick a Hammer album to review, what would it be?
Please tell me don't hurt him.
Damn, I wanted you to say Funky Headhunter.
I never heard that, but trust me, I know it's bad because I'm like, yo, for the shit that I heard from it without hearing the whole album, I'm like, no, this is bad. Pumps in the Bump, I like that beat, but not for Hammer. Not for Hammer. That video is atrocious.
Oh my god.
No, not for Hammer.
Yeah,
And he was dissing like legends, Run DMC and Redman. He dissed on there
and Tribe.
and Tribe. Like what? Come on, you already lost the hip hop community doing that.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, because believe it or not, I'm not gonna front, and we're gonna get back to Monie Love.
Uh,
If in terms of lyricism, that might be Hammer's best album, that Funky Headhunter
really?
album.
That's really.
In terms of lyricism,
Uh-huh. What
because
about
you know,
the production though?
ah, mm, it's among. I haven't heard. I have to hear like really like the best ones and shit,
Mm,
because that G Funk production, you can really give it to anybody and shit. To be real with you,
right. Hey, I was a huge Hammer and Vanilla Ice fan, and Hammer had his own Saturday morning cartoon, Hammer Time, ABC Saturday mornings. I think it was like what 11:30, 10:30, something
hmm
like that. Vanilla Ice to the extreme. I bought that album. That was a dope album for his time. But we know what happened to Vanilla Ice.
lose that hero and get with the zero. Lose
You
that
know what I
zero
mean?
and get with the
He
hero.
he, he didn't he didn't he didn't know if he was from Dallas or Miami. You know, one minute he's a rapper, then he's doing reggae, then he's doing rock. Like, make up your mind. What are you? You know, and
And then,
had the nerve to be on the Arsenio Hall show and get mad at Arsenio.
exactly.
Like what are you doing? The number one rated late night talk show. You're gonna have an attitude on there. You know what I'm saying? So that just ruined his career. Like all of that things combined.
And then motherfuckers gonna be all like, "Oh well, Arsenio was too rude." I'm like, "What?"
Right. And then he lied about like when it came to sampling the Queen song with David Bowie, under pressure, he's like, "Oh, we didn't sample everything." You could clearly see it is a sample. They took everything from the bass line to the beat, everything.
Hell, even Tone Loc was honest about sampling Van
Right.
Halen and shit.
Right. But he still feels like it's not a sample. So
Fuck that nigga.
hey, it was fun while it lasted in 1990.
Well, that's the same thing I said about the baby's career.
Oh man.
But yeah, let's talk about Money because this is like a long album. I do have to sleep earlier than usual tonight, but um, Money in the Middle. This is the first track. Pretty straight song. Nice way to start off the album, in my opinion. It tells a story about how pretty much he was in a high school love triangle, but it ended up becoming creepy and shit like that.
Right.
Um, and pretty much she don't want the motherfucker, but he refers to her as a lover. And then she was being followed into the girls' bathroom and shit like that. It's like a very, one of those kind of songs and shit.
Right.
I like it personally. I like it and stuff. They said Bootsy Collins had a hand in some of the production on this track.
You did?
That's what I'm looking at in one of these trivia shit. So
Wow. Um, I like it. I think it was a great song, great beat and bass line, and nice horns being played on that. And just Moni telling this story of like being. I thought it was like a story of how like liking one guy and then his friend was liking her.
mm,
That's what it like she made it sound like she was being pursued by another guy that was actually the other dude's friend or whatever. But I thought it was a dope song and a great first single for her to be introduced. And I love the chorus, Moni and the Moni and the Moni in the middle. That was a catchy thing. Like I used to see that on T-shirts and everything. So classic record to me.
yeah, classic track indeed. Now I'm gonna get into probably her signature track. It's a shame, my sister. Very, very, very good song in my opinion. Um, I mean that usage of the spinner sample alone is iconic and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much it's just pretty much talking about how her friend is in a bad relationship and she's trying to tell her friend to move on
Right.
and to have your dignity and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, man, definitely a very good song. I like it.
Yeah, it definitely was dope. A very dope dance track. I like the remix also. Thought that was dope. Um, the guitar riffs on it, the bass line. I like the girl singing on it, and telling she's like telling, giving the girl advice like, get back on your feet, please. I'm begging you to check out on your own knees. Don't let nobody see you in a state of grieving with another brother. There's a possibility. I like it. I just like again like this is positive messages that she's giving to young women out here that we don't see anymore. And I think that was like a main priority for Moni in a lot of her songs was to always give out advice to young women, whether it was about pregnancy or being cheated on and just women's rights in general. And I think it's another great record. So
Yeah, very dope track. Now we're gonna have a don't funk with the Mo. Um, this was pretty much mostly produced by Baby Bam with the Jungle Brothers, even though he had some help from Kevin Maxwell and Jerry Calendar. This is pretty much her talking about how she got signed to the rap game and stuff like that, and just all the shit that she was going through. How producers trying to take her credit, and pretty much how her mom was just there for her and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
right,
I didn't care too much for that beat. I'm gonna keep it
yeah,
real with you,
yeah.
but I do like the lyrical contributions.
The beat to me it had like a New Jack swing to it. I don't think it fit Moni.
Yeah,
It was more. This was more a New Jack swing beat. I was like, this is not the beat for Moni to rhyme on.
definitely.
Even though she tried different sounds on this album, this album is a mix of different genres, but I don't think the beat was right for her for this topic. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I didn't care for it too much.
Yeah, definitely. Next track, "Ring My Bell." I do not care for this track either.
It's a
Uh,
club joint, and back then I didn't understand why there was certain artists that was doing or attempting to do club joints, but remember this came out in '90. But I think it would have been more accepted now. But I didn't care for it.
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Track number five, "Are You Single?" This one was pretty solid. It's just pretty much talking about how she met a guy in a club and stuff like that, and he's he pretty much has a daughter.
Right.
Yeah, he has a daughter and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, the whole baby mama, baby daddy drama and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right.
Yeah, this song was pretty solid for the most part.
This was a dope. This was a dope track. Um, she's also talking about like, a brother got to step to her with like good convo, and it just can't be all about sex. I like the dope cameo sample also. That was dope cameo song. And she's saying, don't attempt to impress me by perpetrating. I like you for you, no need for demonstrating. So just basically saying like, if you're gonna step to me and try to get my number, be yourself. So it was dope.
Definitely, definitely. I now I'm gonna have just don't give a damn. This one, it was okay. It wasn't really, again, one of my favorites on this album. I barely remembered it after a couple listens, so
I love it. I think this again another serious message, and she's talking about like being in an abusive relationship, and saying wounds heal but feelings don't, and she's telling her friend that she's fed up. She's saying, collect whatever's yours. Your lover's been flawed. I don't wish for the pleasure of your company no more. Are you hard of hearing? I said, take your things and go. What is this? The 18. Who are you, Rambo? So she's basically telling the abusive boyfriend like she's fed up. She just don't give a damn anymore. All he does is hit on her, and that's a very serious topic. It's even now today we still hear about abusive relationships, and this is one of those joints where women need to listen to that. We're not getting these type of songs anymore. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is not doing these type of songs. So when you want to hear a song about abusive relationships, you got to go all the way back to a Monie Love album from 1990 for this. And I thought the beat was dope. The pianos, love the bass line on it. One of my favorites on here.
yeah, definitely interesting as fuck too. Yeah, it did use the cameo single life sample. Definitely love
Yeah,
that.
from the last track we was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, now we're going to talk about what I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
This one right here was okay, better than the last. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. We talked about just don't give a damn after that.
That was track 6.
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, what I'm supposed to be. Yeah, this one was pretty solid track and shit like that. Just what I got from this track right here is just how people would try to crave somebody into their own image and shit, you know what I'm saying? And just how she pretty much just wants to be herself in this
Right.
way. You know, she just really wants to rhyme. She really wants to like be her feminine stuff. So that's what I got from it.
Right. Exactly. Like it's all about what this song title says. Just be yourself. Be happy with who you are. And she had so much attitude on this track. She was real sassy, and she's saying things like, "I'm the Mo, and if you funk with me, it would be a big mistake. What a punk you be." I thought it was a dope beat. Nice piano loop on there. Nice horn loops on the track. Solid cut.
Definitely. All right. After what I'm supposed to be, we're gonna get into detrimentally stable. This is possibly my favorite track off the album, in my opinion, and shit like that. I love that beat. I feel like the more hip hop beats on this album are pretty much my favorite. So
Mm-hmm.
she had a line when she says, "To be respected as a woman and black at that, with a stitch of help from my brother who did black is back, black is black. Looking out my window, I can see where complications be. The cause of poverty throughout the nation. I collect my thoughts within my womb while staring at the move for." Like, definitely,
Right.
I love that line.
Yeah, definitely. This was one of her best lyrically songs on the album. Like she definitely loved her flow on this. The beat, the scratching, everything about it was dope. She definitely showed her lyrical ability on this track, and that it really showed you that not only can she do like positive songs with a message, but she can also rap her ass off too. And I'm like, I wanted to see more of that. You know what I'm saying? And she, she really chose to do the messages for the women, but I wanted her to really go out of her way and show her skills on the mic. And this is like one of those songs. Like it was definitely dope.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely hear your point about how he said it's like one of the more lyrical tracks off this album. Um, Down to Earth is the next track. Again, another solid, decent track. Not really one of my favorites and shit.
Hmm.
But I didn't really care for that beat in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool. Like it's again, it's a dance track. It was okay. The horns was nice. The bass line.
Definitely. Now we're gonna get into I Do As I Please. Um, Again, another song. It was okay, but it could have been a little bit better just based on the beat.
I like it. This was a different type of song. It's more rock influence. You got rock guitars on it. It's a real edgy track. Again, Mo is giving off some attitude and sassiness on here. She's saying, folks speak like they don't have a life of their own. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Before you try and read somebody else's card, check exactly what is going on in your own backyard. Speak upon the know of which you will be spoken to. Otherwise, you know what you could do with your view. A dictator is the last thing I need. The reason I do exactly as I please. So a lot of attitude and sassiness in those lines and just basically telling people like I'm gonna do what the hell I want. If you don't like it, too bad. This is who I am, and I think that's why it has like an edgy sound to it with the rock guitars, and this is like a rock track that Monie Love is spitting on. So I thought it was dope.
Right. Mm. Now I'm gonna get to Pup Slick and Bone. Um, this one was pretty good. I liked it. It was pretty funny
Yeah,
and shit like that. um, it's a weird song, and it's not surprisingly because the Beat Nuts. Well,
right,
yeah, Beat Nuts pretty much had a hand in this track too.
right.
From what I got from this track, I think she was harassed by a dog or some shit.
I thought it was the I thought it was like she was being harassed by a girl that was trying to get with her man.
Really?
Yes, that's why because she talked about the girl in the song, like in the lyrics.
Okay, well that makes more sense.
Right,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense and shit. All right, and it was just like the fact how pretty much if he was trying to compare the guy to a dog or some shit like
right,
that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, man, definitely very very dope. It uses that early beat nut sound that I like y'all know the sound, Intoxicated Demons, Stone
Yes,
Crazy,
yes.
um, pretty much anything before Musical Massacre. That's gonna be
Oh,
real.
and I love that album. So, but I don't care for the title. I think the title is going to confuse people because she's talking about getting a call like from a chick that was either she was sleeping with her man or she wanted to get with her man. I think her man was cheating on her with the other woman and that's why the woman was calling her.
Yeah,
So the Pups Licking Bone title, it don't go with the song. But I think it was a dope beat, nice flute sample by the Beat Nuts, and she's basically telling women out here, have more respect for themselves and their body. I didn't like the chorus. I thought the chorus was whack. But I like what she had to say. Again, it's another positive message for women out here. Ladies is first is the movement. You damn sure ain't included. You don't show respect for your body, you're polluted. Men adore. So come on, honey. Come on, honey. Don't tease them. They don't need you licking on their bones for you to please them. So it's basically telling women, don't put yourself out there and look so thirsty to gain attention from a man. And that's something that a lot of young women now could listen to. So it was
definitely.
dope.
All right. Next track, Read Between the Lines. Again, this one was another track I did not have a huge issue with
Right.
and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Again, one of the more lyrical tracks, if
Right.
you ask me. The beat, I want to say the beat to me had definitely had more of a hip hop feel to it too, and shit compared to the house ones.
Right.
I like it.
I think it was cool. It's not one of my favorites. It had a nice beat.
Respect, respect. Alright, after that we're gonna get into Race Against Reality. Um this one was good. This one was good and shit like that. Pretty much, just talking about, how our people would just do a lot just to hurt us and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But we have to stand together and whatnot. I liked it. Definitely a very, very, very good track. I love the line when she says, desperately trying to desperately trying to get to your mind. Come on, come on, this goes to the troops. Y'all a bunch of dumb folks. I got proof from roof to roof floats a question mark. I suggest you get rid of it. Like, very, very cool song.
Definitely like this track. Really dope beat, hard bass line. And she's saying ignorant brothers and sisters are hoes. The game's being played by the media. If they don't kill you, the government will see to you. So she was going really deep on this track. And again, like it showed her her just being deep as a rapper at that time, and going from different topics, and she has the bars to do it, and I think she killed it on this track.
Yeah, she definitely has the bars to back it up.
Yeah.
Definitely. It doesn't feel forced at all. That's one thing I like
Right.
about it.
Right.
Sweeney is the next track. Um, didn't care for this one.
Swiney.
Oh, Swiney.
Yeah. Because she
Oh,
talking
well,
about pork. She
that
talking about pork.
explains it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really care for this track. I mean, to me, it's a poor man's version of the Boogie Downs production songs "Beef"
Uh huh.
from the Edutainment album
Right.
and stuff like that. And I mostly don't like this song again. For the beat, I just felt like the beat
Right.
was not really up to par, but
Right.
it is what it is.
I thought it was a her version of the Goody Mob Soul Food. Because
Interesting.
like in that song, they talked about not eating fast food, not eating, you know, get yourself some real soul food. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what she was talking about. Like not, but it was more about not eating pork and eating healthier stuff than that. She was like, she even mentioned like, yo, you could have beef and chicken and turkey, anything else, vegetables, anything else than pork. You know what I'm saying? And I like the line where she said, slices of bread sips up the pig juice. I hate to tell you, brother, but the swine got you seduced. I just thought it was hilarious the way that she broke down the bad things about eating pork, and it could give you heart disease, and it makes your breath smell bad. And I thought it was great. Like again, like she just was so multifaceted on this album with different sounds and different topics, and talking about health in the black community. Like, yo, we
Yeah.
need to, like, no pork on our fork. Put down the pork, eat healthier. And I love the beat. I like the horns on it. Really dope track. One of my favorites.
I definitely. Um, give it to you like this. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, so I'm actually reviewing the UK version, and the UK version has 18 tracks, but
Yeah.
the US version has 13 tracks. You don't have this album, do you?
I used to have it on cassette back in there. I never got it on CD. I have the second one. I have the second album.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're good with just going by the 18 track version, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I
Oh,
wrote my thoughts for all of them, but it don't matter.
you wrote your thoughts to which one?
I wrote my thoughts for the 18 for all 18 songs. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool because I was listening to the 18 track version.
right.
I just didn't know
That
because the notes I was looking at with some of the
mm,
songs was from the 13 track version, which is why I'm
that
like pausing a
yeah.
little bit and shit
That's
too.
why I don't remember a lot of these songs. I'm like, because the cassette version back in the day didn't have 18 songs on it, and I never
Yeah,
bought it on
man.
CD. So I'm like, where did all these other songs come from?
Like it reminds me of like when Loose Ends used to have their albums and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the UK album was sometimes have like a different track listing than the US
Yeah.
album.
Yes. That's why it's always I always check, like it's always good to get the bonus edition. At least for me, I love getting the bonus deluxe edition because it's more
Yes,
stuff. Especially when you go on Amazon, you gotta check Amazon because Amazon don't sell all the deluxe editions of albums. They
they
don't. They
don't.
only
That's why.
sell. They only sell like the regular edition, and that's it.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. I got to get the UK edition for this album.
Yeah, I want to get the edition with this cover though.
See, I like the yellow one. I want the yellow cover. I like the yellow one because it take me back to that time in 1990.
This shit reminds me like some sister soldier shit. I'm like, okay,
Right,
Monie.
right. You know.
Shit. And this is the vinyl cover too. So that's
Oh, that's the
that's
vinyl
the,
cover.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Like I don't know. This album cover is so
You like it?
I like album covers like this.
What did it? Latifah did that with Nature with Sister. Don't she have the same pose with the same
No,
headband
no,
on?
no, no, no,
No,
no,
not the
no.
same thing.
No. Latifah,
Oh,
like
don't make me pull out the Nature with Sister album,
no,
Ray.
I got the album too. What's up? I got the oh, I can pull it out.
I thought that was the same pose Latifah gave on Nature with Sister. They're
No.
not the same pose.
No, no,
Just a
no.
different background. Okay,
Latifah had the all black background.
right. But
And
but
she
the, but her looking up with the headpiece, that's not the same thing.
I mean, it was, but the way how they angled that cover and shit like that.
Okay.
Like with the Latifah cover, it's like the way I see it, it's like pretty much, yeah, she's just on her, sister shit, Afrocentric shit. With the
Right.
Monie Love is more introspective, you know what I'm saying? Like she's more observant with that
Right.
cover.
Right. See,
I don't know, maybe
and
I'm just reading too much of it.
with the yellow cover, she's
Uh,
actually looking down. It's down to earth. She's actually looking down.
that yellow,
She's
they
looking
just do
up on
that.
this one.
They just do that. I don't like the yellow. They just do that whole shit together. Like yellow background. I don't know. It was just it to me. It screamed 3 feet high and rising, and I love
I
that
get
cover
it.
too.
Right, right. Yes, I get it. But that was like it was dope though for that time. Like that's what we were drawn to those album covers. It was bright. Everything is dark now and it's all holy images and you know what I'm saying?
Donda.
Yes. No, not even Don. I'm talking about like the West Side Gun, the Griselda album covers. The
I
early ones.
that West Side Gun album cover recently. I don't like that cover.
You don't like the one with the stocking cap?
No, with like I don't like the new cover with all them spots. Like I'm like okay,
That's the stocking cap he's wearing. That's the stocking cap he's wearing over his face. It was made for him. It was a custom made stocking cap.
true, but I didn't care for it.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything is all these. Flea Lord has done it too. All these holy images. You see all these holy images. El Camino have done it on his album covers. Everything's all dark and dreary. Like they don't have
And
bright
then
album covers anymore.
and then niggas be doing album covers like this. Look,
Right. And then that Drake album cover is terrible. Like no, that shit is terrible.
let me look at his cover. Hold on,
That shit with the pregnant emojis. Nah,
that
that not
can't
for
be the
me.
cover.
I told BJ that I'm like that cannot be the cover. That has to be a misprint.
That cannot be the cover.
You want to put that album cover on screen so people can see it?
Well, I actually want to finish the review because
Right.
I don't want to just waste
Okay.
my time talking about this Drake ass nigga. Oh God, this looks like some wee emojis. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah. That's the album cover.
But
I don't believe that.
I'd rather have the Donda cover than this. At least
Yeah.
Kanye put a black screen because he didn't know what the hell he was gonna do and
Right.
shit.
Right.
Like this is just lazy.
Yeah.
But this is who y'all call y'all goat though.
What I think the Donda cover is lazy too. Like he could have just put a picture of him and his mom, like Common did for One Day It All Makes Sense. He had a
But
picture
that
of
would
him and
be
his
too.
mom.
That'll probably be too typical and shit.
But that would have been great though. You paying the album is for your mother. It's named after your mother. I would expect an album cover like that.
Shit.
You know.
Mm,
But yeah, give it to you. It was dope. A nice little track.
definitely. All right. I can do this Uptown mix. I didn't care. I only care for I can do this or I'm driving you crazy. To be
Right.
real with you.
I like the use of the whispers. Was it Rocksteady she sampled?
Yes.
Yes, I like that. That was a dope beat. It was an okay track. I didn't quote anything from a lot of these tracks. So
Me neither. Grandpa's crazy was party was dope. It was alright.
again, another dance track. It was a remix of that. I didn't even hear the original version, so um, I don't know how the original is. The remix was okay. It's a dance track. I was all about dancing at this time. So if you was doing the WAP and the Snake and the
The
Running
Cabbage
Man,
Patch.
the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, those are the dances we were doing back then. So that's what it was about. A lot of dancing.
She's like, look at me, I can dance.
Right.
Um, yeah, but all in all, this is actually, despite like some minor criticisms, this is actually not a bad album. If you like that, if you're expecting all, and this is my issue, I was expecting All Hail the Queen
Right.
because I kind of call this album the cousin of All Hail the Queen in a way,
Right.
and I was like expecting like, and you would get at least a little bit of All Hail the Queen, but all together it's more like a UK flavor
Right.
house album and shit. I mean, Monie, she definitely put up a performance for somebody that's like their first album and you carrying most of all these songs yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, that
That's rough
speaks
work.
volumes and shit.
Yeah.
These days rappers have 20 guest appearances. I don't call those debut albums. I call them compilations and shit.
Right.
But yeah, this album to me, I mean, the house tracks. I'm not a house person, so I could care less for my some of them tracks.
Right.
But all in all, I'll give this maybe a good 3.5 out of 5. No, not bad, but could be a little better in some parts, but still a solid album.
I think I think well, depending on what version you get, I think 18 tracks is way too long for her first album. Some of them should have been cut. I think she did need some features, especially from. It would have been nice to have Queen Latifah on her album, being that she was on Queen Latifah's first album. You know, where was Latifah at? You know, where was she was dating Africa from Jungle Brothers? Where was she at? You know, we could have been on here. Um, I like the wide range of topics. Like she talked about domestic abuse in relationships, and she talked about being cheated on, and talked about eating pork. You know, and it was a wide range of topics. The sounds was a wide range. She went from hip hop to you got some rock in there, you got some dance, some R&B. Definitely a different type of album. You know what I'm saying? But she had some bangers on here. You know, it's a shame. Monie in the middle. She picked the right singles to come out from her first album. You know, I liked Swiney Swiney, Just Don't Give a Damn, Pup Slick and Bone, even though I don't like the title. But definitely it's something on here, I think, for everybody. I think this is definitely a album that a lot of young women should go back and listen to if they're seeking that positivity from a black female rapper besides Queen Latifah. I think this is a perfect album for them to listen to, as well as the second one that we were about to talk about. And Moni displayed her lyricism. I think she was a dope lyricist when she wanted to display that. She didn't display it all the time, but she did her thing. I like the production was here and there for me. Like I love some songs with production, some songs were a miss for me, but I would give it a solid 3. I think it is her underrated album. Well, both of her albums to me are underrated, but I like the second one more than this one. But I give this a solid 3.
Definitely. Yeah, man. I feel like with this rating and shit like that, I feel like we both knocked it over the head and shit.
Yes, yeah,
So now we're gonna get into the, I would say equally, but in my opinion, slightly better in a word or two.
yes,
This was released in March 23rd, 1993, again on Warner Brothers Records.
yeah.
It was known for singles like Full Term Love, Born to Breed,
Want to
In a
be?
Word or Two, and Never Give Up. This had an interesting production discography and probably her best lineup: Molly Mall,
Yep.
Prince, Molly Mall and Prince, Aaron
Interesting.
Freedom Lyles, and Steve Silk Hurley. Um, Pretty much when it came to this album, after the release of Down to Earth, she appeared on a couple of people's albums and stuff, like In the City. She appeared on the song Untitled, from the Praise album. And she also did the remix, the very dope remix to My Name Is Not Susan from Whitney Houston.
Yes, I remember that.
I forgot she was on that remix too.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
man. And around this time too, she actually started working with Prince. And Prince did the song Born to Breed or
Right.
Born to Breed. But this is what I didn't never knew. I never knew that Prince wanted her to write songs for Carmen Electra's album.
Oh shit, I didn't know that
Yes.
either. I don't know how she hooked up with Prince. How they started working.
I don't know how Prince hooked up with Carmen Electra.
I remember when I want to say I was it might have been I want to say I was in junior high still when I first heard about Carmen Electra, but she started out as an artist before she started acting.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know who the hell she was at that time. And then later on, she was doing TV and Baywatch and all that. So
Yeah, man. I heard some of that Carmen Electra album that was not good.
yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, you start working with Joe Jones for this? Okay. Yeah, man. Don't expect a review on that, y'all.
Oh Lord,
I'm not gonna waste my time on that one.
right?
I love Prince, but I have my limits. But so this album was released. The album cover is a weird. You said you got the album right?
Yes, I have it.
It's a weird cover.
Yeah,
So when I first saw it, I thought like it was like some cereal she was dancing with.
it's actually the song titles from the album on these little like balls or whatever the hell.
Oh, word.
Yeah, they're actually the song titles.
Oh well, that's nice. That's creative.
I don't know that it looked like it was photoshopped, and then the back is even like she's just standing and it's like some Photoshop design or some shit. Like what is this, yo? Really? This is '93. Like they could have stepped their album cover game up. I don't understand.
What
But
the fuck, man?
and then the
Who
CD
organized these albums, man?
and look at the that's the only picture. There's no picture in the booklet. That's why I didn't show the booklet. It's only the lyrics. They put lyrics in the booklet. That's a rarity because they don't do that with every rap album.
Mm,
But this is the only picture you get. Just where her like kneeling down. That's it.
that's a waste.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the same picture that she had for the cassette single for Born to Breed. 'Cause I had the Born to Breed on cassette singles, like three different mixes for that song. There's one Prince mix, there's the Marley Marl remix that's the bonus track, and then there's another mix.
Mm. Well, so that's just the album covers, man. It's just like what if she drops a third album? What's she gonna do? Dance with some Care Bears or some shit? Like anyway, 13 tracks. Let's get this shit started. The track number one is called Wheel of Fortune. This one was a very dope song. I love that beat. Pretty much, she calls it Wheel of Fortune because she's trying to look for Mr. Right.
Right.
And Wheel of Fortune, besides being like one of the longest, probably the longest running game show, you spin the wheel and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's creative and shit. But Marley Marl actually did the beat and shit too. So
Yeah.
not one of Marley's best beats on this album, but it's decent.
I love this joint. That's definitely a great way to start the album off. It was a real more rugged sound for her, dope beat and bass line and the horns on it. And like yeah, like you said, like Moses talking about the dating scene and trying to find a perfect brother was like, she had to like spin the wheel of fortune, and she mentions I gotta find somebody to unleash all this affection. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try the love connection. And I think if she had came out with a funny ass video for this with like Pat Sajak and or Chuck Woolery, that would have been hilarious. That would have been a hilarious video because she really let her personality, like her wittiness, shine on this album compared to like the first one. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
she
So
did.
I thought that would have been a great single,
Definitely. Picture Pat Sajak in a hip hop video and shit.
right? And we watched that. I got Wheel of Fortune. Like I got the Xbox game. Like that was I love that game growing up watching that and Jeopardy.
Yeah, I used to have the Wheel of Fortune computer game and shit like
Hmm.
that too growing up. That used to be
Yeah.
my shit.
Yes, and Price is Right. I love that game.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Um, I can't. I think the only good game show now is that Family Feud.
Right.
With
One.
that's cool. I don't mind Family Feud, but at the same
Mm,
time, I'm not really a big Steve Harvey fan like that these
right.
days. Um, then we're gonna get into Greasy. This song was decent. It's pretty much about how three guys went from broke to classy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
It's cool, but the beat was kind of hit or miss for me.
right.
Like, I didn't know what it wanted to be, like a dirty beat or a polished beat.
Right. Again, I think it's dope. Like Marley at this time in '93, like he was killing it. Him and K Dab for this time and doing like the most boom bap rugged joints. And I think he had a dope beat on here and the scratching was dope. The horn looping. I like most flow on this, and it's sort of like she have like on one shoulder she got the devil and the other shoulder the angel, and they're like telling her back and forth like yo like she's talking about like dudes that were like went from zeros to heroes, and then you have like like with the memes that they make like what they used to have like with Miss Piggy as Darth Vader as Darth Vader, and I used to see those memes a lot where they would have like something about oh I'm gonna sleep with him tonight, that's you, and the other one would say it, like from your brain like don't do it or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So I loved her flow and how she was like being the devil's advocate. Like one side would be like count yourself lucky that you caught him when you did. Then the other side would be like I might still talk to him regardless who he's with because he's looking kind of butter. I think that he can please me. The brother's living way beyond fatty. He's living greasy, and she's talking about this dude named Von Boogie that he was a loser, and then he started getting right, and he started getting money and all that. And her girlfriend Benita B, never liked Von Boogie, but once Benita B saw him driving like a Benz or whatever, he had jewelry on him. Benita B got with him. So
It
she
be
felt
like
some
that.
type right, she felt some type of way that her girlfriend Benita got with Von Boogie. So she said, well, I'm gonna fucking get with Von Boogie no matter who he's dating. So that's basically what the song is about. It's about, go like she talking about brothers going from a zero to a hero, and it's called greasy, but at that time you had greasy, you had butter, those type of terms for that, rags to riches type of thing. So I loved it. I thought it was a great track.
It's kind of like her version of Bismarck's Vapors.
Right, right, like Vapors, right. It was like her version of the Vapors told from a female perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, Next track we got is Sex You All. So with this album, Monie Love pretty much caught the 93 flavor, which means that everybody was either trying to get hardcore or try to have a little attitude in their throat.
Mm.
I could have seen this song done more by MC Light. Like she had like a lot of MC Light
She
influence on this
did.
album. A
Yes, she
lot
did.
of MC Light because there was
She
some
did.
tracks like, is this Light? Like,
She did.
yeah, man. So first of all, horrible title.
Right. I don't get it.
Sex You All.
Because it have nothing to do with sex, so I don't understand that.
Like sex you all. The fuck is that supposed to be? Sound like some feminist kind of shit. Yeah. So pretty much this song is about how another girl is calling her because like she's banging Moni's man and shit like that.
Hmm.
It's like that must have been a bad wheel of fortune and shit. Damn. Okay. And so now Moni wants to beat the girl down with baseball bats.
Right.
Like she's trying to get roughneck and shit. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This might be my unpopular opinion, but this might be my favorite song off this album.
This
This might be my
this is your
favorite
favorite song from this album out of everything else on here.
because let me explain. Let me explain and hear me out.
Hmm.
When it came to the Born to Love album and shit like that, I liked it, but I felt like they didn't know exactly the image, like whether she wanted to be like a house or the Queen Latifah. But when with this songs like this, when she had more of an angrier kind of tone,
Right.
I felt she was more comfortable, me personally.
Right. But I think also like 93 to me, a lot of hard street albums came out when it was like about the hard rock, Onyx, Back the Fuck Up. You had Lords of the Underground, Here Come the Lords, The Youngsters, The Aftermath, LL Cool J 40 Shots to the Dome.
Down
93
with
was
the
like a, right, down with
king.
the king, right. They shaved their heads, started wearing Timbs. That was the sound that a lot of artists and the labels were going for. So I feel like Monie had a harder sound on this album because of that, of what was transpiring in rap in '93. A lot of artists follow those trends, whereas like when you listen to her first album, it's more about and it's still about the woman on this album, but it was more lighthearted. On the first album was more of a alternative sound on that album, and on this album she got Marley Marl, because he was like one of the hottest producers still in '93, and she got a harder sound from Marley Marl, and she was rapping like she was MC Light. You know what I'm saying? So, and also she's a mother, newborn baby. I think maybe some of that, the post pregnancy came out on the album, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they call it when women go through stuff after post, was it post depression or whatever?
Yeah, I ain't got no kids,
Yeah,
so I ain't
well,
gotta worry about that
not
shit.
me either, but I mean, from what I hear, like what women go through like depression after they give birth or whatever. I think she took that into her music, and a lot of it came out in very. She was very very aggressive on this album. Like a lot of songs, even the powerful messages to the women and the kids, she was rapping aggressively. Like she was really aggressive, and I think that had something to do with both the climate of rap in '93, and her having the baby. So
Mm. That's a good point. That's a good point. And shit, I definitely feel you on that.
yeah.
Um, there was this one line that kind of made me laugh
Mm.
when she was like, "As far as I know, he was not a gigolo." She called back, said her posse was fat. Said they beat my ass down with a baseball bat. Now, first of all, how she get my number? I don't know, but I'ma kick her ass way down under. Like, okay, Moni, all
You
right,
see the difference, like on the first album where Just Don't Give a Damn, she didn't care. She said pack your shit and go. On this album, the woman calls her crib over her man and she wants to kick her ass. She's like she mentioned something about putting her like beating her colon or some shit like that.
putting her down under.
Right, right. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Moni, you're really that pissed off? Like, what
Moni from
happened
the
to
block.
right? What happened to ladies first? So I think it was just a combination of a lot of different things at that point. So
Like I said, I was like, okay, I like this. I like this.
right,
Okay.
right.
Um. So now we're gonna get into a controversial song called "Mo Money."
Mhm.
Who was gonna making up these Mo Money? Excuse me. So she's pretty much getting at rappers with ghostwriters,
Mm,
and
a new
she threw a
concept.
shot at Das Effects.
Uh oh.
Yeah.
Uh oh.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
She was all like, "Oh, hold up, where's that line at?" God damn it, that's why I hate reading sometimes. Shit. Yeah, but she threw a crazy shot. Okay, so she was like, it's taking over rapidly, false duplication. Artists that are supposed to be self-acclaimed tapping into other artists' domain. It's a bore to the brain. It's a bore to the brain. Diggity, 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 shut the hell up. I can't understand the words you're saying.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, Moni taking shots and shit. Again, another song I fucked with and shit. Molly Mall's beat that definitely had a 14 shots to the dome feel to it, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Hell, even Wheel of Fortune kind of sounded a little bit like a thugged
Mm-hmm.
out around the way girl and shit.
Right.
Mm.
Do you really want to get into beef with Crazy Drazy and Scoob? I don't think she wanted that. And I never felt like that. And that was the that I remember like '92, like when they first came out. I remember they had that little feud with the Lords because Lords were claiming that Das took their style, and I never felt like Lords of the Underground sounded like Das Effects.
Hell no.
So I'm like, where they get that from? I'm like, Das Effects definitely had their own style. If anything, people bit their style. You know what I'm saying? Chris Cross did it. You know, there's other you had like one hit R&B artists that would come out with a song, and then that whole diggity style they would emulate on the song. You know, Mr. Dalvin, if you hear him on Diary of a Madman, he bit their style. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they were their style was being bitten. I never felt like they bit anybody's style. So I'm like, and I never heard Das Effects address the whole thing with Monie anyway. So where did that come from?
Hell, even Das Effect had a little minor beef with Karis One too.
Right, that's
Mind you,
right.
they did a song together.
Right, on Hold It Down. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Um. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, that whole see, and this is one of the reasons why when I first heard Das Effects, I'm not gonna lie, I was not a big Das Effects fan. I'm still not really the biggest Das Effects fan like that,
Right,
minus their first three albums. But
right, same.
it's like everybody was just using that stuff, like the Iggy's kind of style and shit
Yeah,
like that. That's why Das Effects had to change up their steez when the Sweat Up Suicide album came out.
yep.
They weren't doing that shit no more. Shit. But I'm not gonna lie, that Dead
Hold
Series
on.
album is
My,
still. You
my
said
thing is
what?
breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
My volume is breaking up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're breaking up.
No,
Yeah.
my volume is breaking up. I'm a come back in.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, man. Yeah, I heard a little bit about the Jeopardy. I heard a lot of crazy shit about Jeopardy and stuff like that because now they're saying how Alex Trebek wanted a black woman and they're not gonna have a black woman there. And I think the host has some crazy history with the Price of Right girls and some shit like that. Yeah, I'm not a Drake fan and shit, so I could care less for that album. Yeah, Down to Earth is a very dope album and shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good 3.5 mics for me and shit. So 4 mics is solid rating too. Um yeah, man. I know one day I do have to talk about that Flavor Unit album and the Order in the Court album too. Did you hear about the VMAs? Whoa, he said the VMA is not inviting black people. What the To be honest, they rarely show music videos and shit. So I'm like, what the hell are they having a VMA still for? What do you think of Lord Jamar and DJ Vlad? Um, I feel like a lot of I agree with some of this shit, but I don't agree with all this shit. That's all I gotta say. What is the darkest Donny Hathaway album? Probably the extension. Maybe the first one. The first one was pretty dark and stuff. Tries fixing his volume at the moment.
Alright. My
Yo,
bad. My bad.
no, you good?
Yeah. Where we was at? Oh, yeah, was it Monie? That yeah, that was cool, but I just didn't understand why she was going that dash on that. It didn't make no sense to me, you know.
Yeah, and it didn't make no sense whatever, but okay.
No.
Now we're gonna get into I'm a Believer. Now this is
Yes.
like vintage Monie Love right here. Something for the kids, how she uses songs like to encourage, people and kids, be themselves, to go to school and shit like that.
Right.
I fuck with this track, it's like a dope track.
Yeah, this is fire. I like this joint. Um, Definitely one of my favorites on here. Like, love the beat, really hard track, the bass line. Mo saying, quitters never win, winners never quit. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will do it. And I love the chorus. If I'm a believer, then you're a believer. Love that joint. Really hard track.
And then yeah, definitely a very hard track and shit. Um, Next track you got is Let a Woman Be a Woman. With this track right here, it's just another woman kind of track and shit, you know what I'm saying? She had a line where I think she called somebody a little Chucky wannabe. And call
What
me
was he talking about?
crazy.
Mm.
I feel like she was dissing Roxy and Shantae.
Oh wow.
Because if you
Where
guys
she get the?
remember,
Mm.
so what?
Now I was just say where she get the little Chucky reference from?
Um, that part I don't know. Because I think at that time, Roxy and Shantae was where she went by Shantae at that time and had a hardcore, more rougher image and shit. And I guess Chucky was the first thing that she heard. Like, call me. I don't know if that's really who she was going after, but if I put two and two together, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
The line was when she said, "Little do you know, it's climbing on the votive pole, babbling, 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 but not saying nothing. Bring a seize to all your speech punk and quit the bluffing. On this groove, I'll be as funky as I wanna be. So step
Wow.
off, you little Chucky wannabe. You can pop all that junk, but heat it off with my face. Make a move towards me, and you will be erased." I, s-
Wow.
it, like I said, I feel like she was talking about Shantae.
Mm.
If I'm wrong, y'all say it on the channel, on the chat.
Right.
But that's just because that same year, Latifah came out with that "I Can't Understand" track from Black
Right.
Rain, where she
Right.
smashed Roxy and Shantae.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. This was a dope joint. I love it. Again, another hard track by Molly Mull. Love the beat, the bass line, the scratching. Definitely a bang on here, man. This sound like something that the Lords could have rhymed on. So you know.
Definitely, shit. All right. Now we're gonna get into Full Term Love. So
Yes.
this was the one that sounded like Around the Way Girl too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was also on the Class Act soundtrack.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much Monie Love, trying to find love and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pretty cool song. If you guys like that R&B, Marty Mall, sound and shit like that, like Aaron Hall's Curiosity remix.
Right.
Love that remix, by the way.
Yes. Classic.
Yes, it's that curiosity.
Mm.
Nigga. Like LL's Around the Way Girl, Stand By Your Man, that kind of shit.
Right.
You will like this song and shit. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked when Marty Mall made those kind of beats too.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Definitely like a street flavor to
Yeah. Definitely a great song. Love it. I've always loved it from the film, Class Act. That was a dope movie, and it had a nice bass line, nice beat, nice background singing on the chorus, and I love the video. There's also a video for this song as well. Love the video for this. It had like that summertime, love type of vibe, and You know, you got Mo saying, if you want to know me better, I suggest you follow. Cause I ain't trying to start up nothing destined to be hollow, and just, talking about being in a serious relationship and not, having to deal with a one night stand or nothing like that. So I thought it was a great song.
Yeah, very, very good song. Next track, building relationships where education and enlightenment dominate, aka Born to Breathe. This is produced by Prince. That explains the acronyms and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool track, you know what I'm saying? Prince is like the guitar background. It's just pretty much her way of talking about motherhood and how
Right.
she likes being a mother and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And just dedicated to a child, you know. You it was kind of relatively new
Right.
at that time for like motherhood or fatherhood kind of tracks and shit like that. So
Right.
this one was pretty groundbreaking at that time too. So
Right.
I liked it, you know.
Now, are you gonna talk about the remix? Because that's the bonus track.
Oh yeah, we can talk about the remix now. It's cool.
Okay. Well, like I said, like there's three different mixes. There's the Prince mix that I believe they used that for the video. There's a video for this. There's the Molly Mall remix. That's the bonus track, and then you got another mix. And I love the Prince mix, and I love the Molly Mall hip hop mix. And like yeah, like she's talking about motherhood, and you know um, I love the abbreviation, like how they abbreviated, the breed word, and using that in the chorus. BREED, you're born to breed, and um, it was definitely a dope song, and having Prince even collaborate with Monie was dope, and she's saying, ask me again if I need ghetto assistance. There's food on my table and my baby's not wearing piss pants. I could teach my child at home than you could ever. Corrupt the mind of my youth that could be never. And just talking about, there's a part where she says, I don't need Planned Parenthood. She doesn't need it. She's gonna raise her kid on her own, and it was great. Definitely one of my favorite songs for that year when I came out, and I loved it.
Yeah, definitely a very hot joint. Prince get his next credit with "In a Word or Two." This is pretty much like one of the more softer songs off this album and shit like that. I just didn't like the whole reggae ish behind it. I didn't like the whole reggae aspect of the song.
Right,
And this was like around the time when he was experimenting with reggae, especially in the Love Symbol album, which
right.
that was good. Like the songs on
Yes,
there was good, but
yes.
I don't know what happened here though.
You ever did a review on that
But a while
a
back,
while ago?
yeah,
I love
well,
that album. Yeah,
yeah, that's maybe one of my favorites from his '90s period.
right. Same. Yeah, yeah. That this is a real melodic track. Really soft, a softer tone to Moni. She's not screaming and aggressive. She was really laid back, and you know, the beat was real soft, and the bass line, the synthesizers on it. You got Prince singing in the background, and the the dude that's doing the reggae, what the chants or whatever. I didn't care for him. He was not needed on the song, and I guess they did that for like effect, but I don't think he was needed. But it was definitely like a nice love song, and talking about how her love for her man, and I loved it. I thought it was a nice title track for this album because everything else is aggressive. This is like the one song that's real softer, you know. So
Definitely. All right. There's a better way. That's the next track. With this track right here, it's like a very jazzy instrumental where she's talking
mm,
about HIV, which I'm not going to lie, you got to give it up to the female rappers at this time too for actually bringing the whole HIV/AIDS awareness at this
right,
time to like Salt and Pepper,
right,
MC Light with the song "Eyes on the Soul,"
hmm,
um, TLC. Like you got to
yes,
give it up to them and shit. Cause
yeah,
no, who else was talking? I think some another male rapper was talking to AIDS at that time too. But it was like most of the female rappers that was like giving it really
hmm,
that awareness, which I gotta respect about
right.
that and shit like that. Like how we went from this to WAP, I really don't know. I really don't know, but hey,
Oh Lord,
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. On occasion, WAP is entertaining on occasion,
Right,
but
right.
I'm I don't think I'll listen to that song 5 years from now. Like
You never
What's Your
know.
Fantasy,
Mm,
or even Let Me Blow Your Mind with even Gwen Stefani and shit like that, you know.
right,
But this is actually my second favorite song off this album, you know. She's talking about how her ex lover had like HIV
right.
and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And just just pretty much giving the perception about how HIV and AIDS was treated around that time too. I like that line how NOG was
Mm-hmm.
like NOG said, to be a father, can you dig it?
Right.
And that song, Be a Father to Your Child,
Yes. I love that.
that was a very iconic song from that time
Definitely.
too. Because I
Classic
know
track.
hella rappers referenced that track plenty of
Mm-hmm.
times. I want to say Showbiz and AG did that shit too.
Right. Classic.
But yeah, this was probably my second favorite track of the album.
I love the message, and again, like this was a message for the young women, and telling the story of how, like, her friend Raul at school, well, they were friends, but Raul, she wanted more with Raul, and Raul never saw her in that way. He just saw her as a friend, and instead Raul wanted her to hook up, hook him up with the other girl at school that he had a thing for, Mariah, and they hook up. Him and Mariah do it. He ended up getting HIV from Mariah, and it's like a whole story built in like a whole high school setting, and she wasn't seeing Raul for a couple of days. She wanted to know what was wrong. She was good. She was good friends with Raul's mom, and Raul's mom thought that that she would have been a better lover for him than Mariah was. And I love it. I love the beat, the bass line, the horns in it from Marley Marl. You got Mo saying he said he'd end his life with 20 blanks because he was scared to death of what the students all would think. I said if they don't like you, then now they ever liked you. They were fair weather friends, the type you could see straight through. And I love the chorus. You got the girl singing, "There's a better way." Um, Definitely a real positive. I would have loved to see a video for this. It would have been great for that time too, and definitely one of my favorites on this album.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. Um, was this a single? No, this wasn't a
Yeah,
single.
they should have. They didn't promote this album.
They didn't.
You have Prince on here. Like, how do you not promote this?
Well, what was Prince going through in 1993?
Right, I know. They did that to get back at him. So you do that with Monie?
Hey, well, how you know that Prince didn't just want to do that as a contract obligation and shit.
That could have been, but still, like, she deserved. I mean, I don't think she dropped the album after this, and this is '93.
90, this last album.
Right. So this is it. Only two albums.
Yeah,
You know.
man. And the last track, For the Children. Um, so we already talked about the hip hop myth. So
Yeah.
again, vintage Monie love, but at the same time, the beat, I didn't care for the beat, in my
Right.
opinion.
I like it. I think the beat was dope. The bass line, the horns by Molly Mall. I think it was a great way to end the album off. And she's talking about, like, for the children, growing the children up in this world that we're living in, and looking out for them and future generations. I thought it was a great track.
I hear your point. Now with this album, I pretty much have the same reaction with the previous album, but I'm not gonna lie, because I am a Monie Mall fan, especially on this time. I do give it a slight uptick when it comes to like the production,
Yeah.
and just with like some of Monie's like rougher lyrics, I do like some of that shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Even though with some of the lyrics she did kind of go a bit overboard,
Right.
with the baseball bats and
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
But but
Mm-hmm.
this one again, it's like just like Down to Earth. I feel like it's another solid album.
Yeah.
I feel like she don't have a classic album. I'm gonna
Right.
be honest. But I get at the same time, her discography, for you to have two back-to-back solid albums, in my opinion, I mean, it's saying something.
Right.
Now, it was not every Marley Marl beat was hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first to say,
Right.
but I will give it and this might be one of the rarer times I do. I might give it a 3.8 out of
Oh, wow.
5 mics.
Okay.
Yeah, not yeah, 3.8.
I thought it was a solid album. Like, Marley did like 9 out of the 12 tracks on here, and I think they were banging, and he was still in his prime at that time. Doing albums for like Lords of the Underground and 14 Shots to the Dome and World Renown and the Youngsters. I think he was still in his prime, and the production was great. And having Prince on here, Prince don't just work with anybody, especially rappers. And to
Right.
have Prince do like two, not one but two songs from Prince, and he's featured on the title track, like that was dope in itself. And I'm assuming that was part of the agreement with Warner Brothers so that he can get lost off of there, and maybe that's why they didn't promote this album. But I thought those were great as well, and she didn't have no features other than Prince. There was no features on here, and that's rare. Like to have like a female in rap, like her first two albums, and there's like no features like that except for Prince, a legend. Rest in peace to him. And I always loved this album, and the character. I love the songs like There's a Better Way, Born to Breed, Wheel of Fortune, Full Time Love, I'm a Believer, Let a Woman Be a Woman. Any of these songs should have been singles if they were promoted. If they had promoted the album, I definitely could have seen a lot of videos for a lot of these songs like Wheel of Fortune and There's a Better Way. And it's just a shame that it wasn't promoted. I definitely think that it could have been like a multi-platinum selling album, but I'm giving it a solid 4. I think it's definitely. I like this one more than the first one. The first one was more like alternative. It had more of an alternative sound, but like she stayed within her message, and it was all about the women and looking out for them, especially you know teenage pregnancy at that time, and you know um, she went through her own pregnancy, and I think she was pregnant while she was recording this. I want to say, or before, but I know
She's always
after,
pregnant.
huh?
She's always pregnant when she's doing a
Well,
song.
she got more. She got more than one kid. I think definitely when the first album came out, she was pregnant, and then this is like the album after the pregnancy. But
She
she have other kids, but this is like her first daughter. I remember when she had her first daughter, but this is after she had her first daughter, and the effects of all of those emotions and all that, and I think she put it into her album. That's why it came out aggressive like it did, as well as the music landscape at that time. But I always thought it was a solid album. It just wasn't promoted. A lot of people don't even know the album. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's a solid 4. This is my favorite Monie Love album. So I think it was great, and it was great that we could discuss both of her albums. So
yeah, I definitely had fun doing these reviews for
yeah,
sure.
this was great.
Yeah. I was thinking about the next double review.
Uh,
I was thinking about doing MC Shan's last two albums.
yes, but we only did this first Shan album, right?
Yeah,
Yes, that
and
was good.
I need a good laugh.
I haven't seen that video. Is it on the page? Is it on the channel?
It should be.
I haven't for whatever reason I have not seen it.
That's all. Well,
Okay.
um, I'm gonna stay until about maybe 10:30.
Okay. Your Q keep asking what is the worst Mary. What is it with you all and Mary J. Worst Mary J. Blige album? It's definitely something in like the 2010s. I don't think she dropped anything bad in the 90s or the early 2000s. I seen somebody say Love and Life to me was a banging album. It just wasn't promoted.
Yeah,
You didn't like it?
yeah,
I love that album.
it was.
Puffy.
They try to recreate the
Right.
past. That way.
That's all Puffy. Puffy tried to recreate My Life, but I thought it was a banging album. She has 50 Cent on there, Jay-Z's on there. Method Man is on that album. Worst Mary album. What's the worst Mary album?
I'm not gonna lie, that my life too. Kind of has.
Yes, My Life 2. Her recent shit to me, My Life 2, and what is this? The last shit she dropped. What the name of that shit? But yeah, I don't think it's anything before then. Like I love all her 90s albums, her 2000 stuff. Worst Mariah album. Worst Mariah album to me was that what's that that shit she did with all the rappers? Fabulous was on that and Wale.
Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel.
That shit. And she got like the rainbow background.
Oh no, not that one. I know what album you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about. That shit came out like 2015 or some shit. I didn't like that shit at all. That shit was bad. What's your opinion on Donda?
Did you just give like a whole monologue?
What they actually? What's your opinion? Not my opinion.
Oh
I
my!
already give my opinion. Yes.
Oh wow! Oh well, I didn't hear the whole shit. I heard some of it. It was like it was unbalanced as fuck, man. Everyone asked me to actually listen to it. Everyone's saying it's good. Everyone like I'm still on my Kings of these two shit. I'm gonna be real.
Oh my lord.
I'm
I'd
still
rather hear
on.
Donda.
I'm low key still on Lloyd Banks' album and shit.
What Banks album was dope.
But it's gonna take me a miracle to listen to Donda. I'm not. Cause it's like y'all cancel Kanye, but then y'all bring him back and shit like that. I'm
I
just
ain't.
like
I ain't canceled
I'm
him.
confused.
I ain't. He wasn't canceled over here. I mean, everybody else canceled him. I just felt like he needed to get away from the Kardashians. They to me are they part of the problem why he was coming out with shitty music. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get away from them and focus. And I think that's what he did with this album. He sounds focused again.
Shit.
You know.
I'm just confused, man.
Do Ryan Leslie or Swiss Beats have a signature sound? Swiss Beats has a signature sound. I don't know about Ryan Leslie. I don't think he has a signature sound. What is the worst G Unit album? They only put out what? They only put out like two albums.
Yeah.
I like both of them. So I mean, if you want to talk about the EP, I didn't care for the EP that they put out with Kid Kid, but I like both of the G Unit albums.
Kid. So I guess Fat Joe's new album's out of print.
Already?
Yeah.
It's on physical.
No, they took it out streaming and shit. It's
Why?
expensive.
Oh, he didn't clear the samples.
Nah.
How did you do it? I don't understand. And he's doing a whole project with drama. In it was like what these are the songs that Big would rhyme over,
Some shit like that.
and he didn't clear the samples. What a fool!
But you want to tell stories about Pac and Big.
Right? You want to talk shit about Cuban Link and Punch Family, but you
Right.
can't even clear them. He said on Drink Champs that Luther Vandross family cleared the sample. They didn't clear the sample, so he was lying about that.
How come he didn't do no tribute album to Big Pun though, but she want to do a tribute album to
Exactly.
Biggie?
But he already said that he's not doing no Pun biopic until Liza apologizes. I don't know what for.
There's so
What
much
what is
drama.
what is he want an apology from Pun's wife from about? Because she's telling the truth that he didn't look out for the family. You know, you got rid of all the members that Pun bought the Terror Squad except for Remy, and he had to reconcile with Remy after she came out of jail. You know, Pun bought all those members. He bought Remy to Terror Squad and Triple Six, Cuban Link, I think Tony Sunshine also, and he got rid of all of them.
Just for his clout.
I don't like Tony Ayo's album. That was trash. Talk about that. Let's not talk about Mary's worst album. Talk about Yayo's first album.
That 20 year was trash.
What are some examples of fashion types? Meaning what? You mean fashion trends? Worst Fat Joe album? Anything after Loyalty. I like Loyalty, but anything after that. You check any of those albums where he was trying to sound like he was from down south? Trash. You mean fashion trends? An example of a fashion trend would be like, like when we had the era of like the throwback jerseys in like 2001, 2002. We had the throwback NBA jerseys, NFL jerseys. The extra long, extra large white tees.
Yeah.
You know the Air Force One era. That was like a big craze in the 2000s. Shit like that. You know the joggers. is a big thing now again. You know, we didn't call it we didn't really call it joggers back then. They were like sweatpants. Now they're like joggers. So you
Mm.
know, stuff like that. Do I think Fabulous has some solid albums? I like Street Dreams and nothing from nothing to something. Loso's Way, but he don't have no classics. No, I never went to the tunnel. I never. I went to strip clubs. I didn't go to regular clubs. My thing was going to strip clubs. Everybody else went to regular clubs. They got drunk, came home with bad hangovers. That just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I heard the tunnel was epic and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I got DVDs for the tunnel performances. You know, epic performances they had there. I just never went.
Is it still up or is it still down?
Nah, it closed down like back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there was some stuff going on in there, like underage girls in the bathroom and stuff. So yeah, they've been shut that down. I don't think they'll ever come back.
Yeah, that was like the Studio 54 of hip hop and shit.
Yes, I still have Smack DVDs. I got the lock stuff. Ironically, somehow Jadakiss always comes up in, in these discussions. I have the Jadakiss the locks because the locks came out with special edition Smack DVDs. I kept those because those still play. Like the older ones stopped playing after a while, so I had to get rid of those. But I kept the locks special edition ones. Jadakiss has one and Styles P has one. Dipset. I had the porno Dipset shit that they were releasing. That's probably like out of print now,
Not the point of this stuff.
but yes, porno Dipsex. That's what they called it. With a triple X. Yeah, yeah. The Duke the God was in those joints.
Watching
Yeah,
the lock
huh? What you watching? The Locks what?
Wild Out in the
Oh,
tunnel.
of course, yeah. Yeah, like they. That's on the DVD. I don't know if I ever showed it on here though. Did I ever show it on here? I might have showed it like in a collection video or something.
I don't remember.
Forgot where I put it.
Wild
Of course, you play that.
I mean, I was trying to watch like Dr. Dre's, but then I thought the rock performance come up.
You're probably watching the same thing. You're probably watching the same DVDs. This is the actual. It's a 2 disc DVD. Y'all can see this. Tunnel. This
I
volume 1 and volume 2. Yeah, and it these are all like from all performances, like historical performances from like when the Chronic 2001 came out. Dr. Dre bought the whole West Coast with him. He had Razzcast there, Exhibit, Nate Dogg. Um, I think Warren G was with them. The East Side is everybody. It was like 50 people on stage on the West Coast. The Dog Pound, Superflies, Snoop was there. They did Still Dre. They did Explosive. They did a whole bunch of songs from 2000 from the Chronic 2001. Rough Riders, all the Rough Riders classic performances. The Locks with Wild Out. They had Dragon and Eve. They had Eve do her stuff from my first album. DMX was there. Rockefeller, they had Beanie Siegel did his stuff. Bleak was there. They did
Oh
the
shit!
Dynasty stuff. They did the Dynasty stuff on stage. Red and Meth. They performed the Rockweiler and the whole Blackout stuff that we talked about. Mystical was there, and he had female dancers like undressing during his stage performance, and they were like sexy female dancers. Who else was there? Cash Money when he did the Hot Boys was there. They performed. It's a lot. It's a lot of epic performances. So I don't know if it's out of print. 'Cause I didn't get this in the store. I got this from like the mixtape spots back then, back in the 2000s. So I don't know if it's out of print or if it's even available in for retail. But I never seen it in no stores or anything. So, but they had like all the epic performances from the tunnel. You know, there's a part with Little Kim. Little Kim is actually like dancing on top of the bar at the table,
Oh shit.
and she got like Tim's on, and she's like egging the crowd on, there's a part with Black Rob. Rest in peace to Black Rob. There's a part with Black Rob. Black Rob performed there. He did Whoa, and then after they had an interview with him, and he's like he has like a bowl of food, and he's just like stuffing his face while he's doing the interview. So you know what I mean? It's great times at the tunnel.
Yeah, man. We'll never have shit like that again.
Word for real. Do you remember Doggy Diamonds? Yeah, I'll watch Doggy Diamonds from time to time. You know. Chronic versus 2001. I love both of those albums. Both those albums are classic. You can't go wrong with either of them.
Yeah, man. But if I was to give it slight, I'll probably give the Chronic one.
Like, whatever happened to Mike Jones? I don't know.
Who?
Mike Jones?
Who?
Mike Jones? Mike
Who?
Jones? Mike Jones? I remember I used to call that hotline when that shit came out. And that shit used to be busy. Like, everybody was calling that shit.
Who? Mac
Mike
Jones.
Jones. What do you think about the We Are the World remix? Trash. It wasn't needed. Was not needed. Nah. You can't beat the original. Oh, good.
Like, they had that auto tune part.
Oh,
You
God.
and me.
Right? Right. Jamie Foxx. Just that whole look with um that whole look with Jennifer Hudson giving Jamie Foxx that stare is just hilarious. That's like the only part I remember in the video.
Ayeti. 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 What? Yeah, yeah. Nigga has to let everybody know he's patient and shit. Like, nigga, okay, we get it.
The ambassador Haiti and shit.
Nigga try to run for president and shit, but
Right?
fucking failed
God.
and shit. What? Yeah, yeah.
No, but I thought they didn't vote for him because didn't he have like a sex scandal or something? He had cheated on his wife?
That too, yeah.
Right. There was rumors about that.
Where's Wyclef now?
He waiting for his verses with will.i.am.
Oh God.
That's who will.i.am said he would battle. He would battle Wyclef. That's his mentor.
I would go with will.i.am.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Fuji's only got one good album. I don't know if they beating the Black Eyed Peas. That's funny. Yeah, see, we mentioned that, but Monie Love was on My Name Is Not Susan remix.
Yes, sir.
Favorite Patti LaBelle album?
The one from '83.
The first one. I love that one.
Oh shit.
When she left LaBelle,
I need to get that.
that one is fire. I got that on vinyl. That one is fire.
I even like
Winning in You.
Burning album. Like,
Yes, Sam said Burning. Ronnie said Winning in You. I think we were supposed to do a Winning in You review.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah. I love Be Yourself. Yeah. That's funny, man. What internet did you use in the late '90s? I didn't get the internet till '90, like end of '98. We had dial up. That's what we had. We had AOL dial up. You know, like we had to get like a separate phone jack for the dial up back then. You know,
Like that.
we came a long way from dial up.
Mhm.
American Online, right? American Online. That's what I had. AOL Online. You know, that shit took forever to get on, man. Better live performer, Janet Jackson or Michael? Shit, I got Michael. Michael can moonwalk. Janet didn't moonwalk. That's already a strike for her. You Michael moonwalk. He was pop blocking and shit. This before niggas was doing that. You think this score is better than anything the Black Eyed Peas ever made? I don't know about that. Black Eyed Peas got some good albums.
They do, but
Elephunk was fire. Monkey Business was
Elephant was
fire.
dope. Yeah,
Yes, that's the first album with what's her name, Fergie.
the only Fergie album I like.
Monkey Business. I enjoyed Monkey Business. The END. I enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
that one. That's the only one I got. The END. That's the only one I have on available. Everything else is like out of print. You know.
I like
This
the very first one they did.
Yes, the one before Fergie.
Yes.
That was dope. I don't know if you put Fugees in a battle with just that one album. I don't know if that's just beating Black Eyed Peas. They're gonna need more. You're gonna need to throw in Lawrence solo album and Wyclef solo album. You know, Wyclef had a better solo to me than Will I Am. I mean, I enjoyed. I might have been the second Will I Am solo album, but yeah, Wyclef's first one was a classic. So he already wins that round solo wise, and Lauren. Sweetest Girl was dope. I enjoyed that. I think that was from Masquerade. I don't have that one. I have Carnival. I have the second one, unfortunately. Clef Dick. Preacher's Son was dope. I enjoyed that. That wasn't promoted though. The Columbia didn't promote that. There's albums that he have that they didn't promote after Carnival, but Preacher's Son was a dope. That's probably his best album since Carnival. I didn't like Masquerade, but it's been years since I heard that. Everything else, the Juve, I didn't care for. Carnival 2, didn't care for that. You know, he had a couple mixtapes also, but I think Carnival is definitely his classic, and I like Preacher's Son.
Yeah, I never heard Future Son.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. He went back to like that's his most complete album since the Carnival. You know what I'm saying? Like he went back to rapping. He wasn't singing so much on that album. He was rapping. The production was solid. I know he had features on there. I forgot who he had. It's been a minute since I heard that one too though. But that one I actually got like his first. I don't even think that was his third album. I can't remember what he dropped after Eclectic, but Preacher's Son was dope. What's this rating of the two Monie albums? The first one I gave a 3. The second one I gave a 4. That's my favorite one. I think the production was strong on that.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5, and I gave down to a 3.5.
Yes, it's definitely a classic album. But the problem is if you're doing a 20 album for album, what are you putting up against the score from Black Eyed Peas? You know what I'm saying? That's the only good album from the Fugees. Black Eyed Peas got more than one good album. You know, I think they can make 20 bangers from the albums alone with Fergie, not even counting the one that they did without her. Do you think Rock and Helter Skelter is underrated? Lyrically, I think he is. I've never been a fan of his solo stuff. I haven't listened to really his solo stuff like that, but lyrically, I think he is definitely underrated.
Yes, very. I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely an underrated MC. The whole boot camp is underrated, man. OGC is underrated. Do you listen to industrial hip hop? I have not listened to the Death Grips. I think Sam suggested that I listen to them. So I'm gonna check their album out. I mean, no, I have not listened to that. Fergie bought Fergie brought down the quality of BEP. You think so? I mean, cause they got more popular when she joined the group. You know, they had some big hits with her.
I'm gonna stay on for 5 minutes, y'all.
You know, where is I don't know how where people rank their quality of music now that she's going. Like they're dropping stuff, but it's the more like reggaeton shit they doing.
Well, I didn't know they're dropping new music and shit.
Yeah, they have new music out, but they're doing a lot of stuff with Spanish artists. You know, Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? They did a lot of stuff with him and J Balvin. You know what I'm saying? So they still doing dance music, but it's more like it has more of a Latin flavor.
Interesting.
You know, so hey, they can use those joints in the verses right now. Why is everybody surprised? I like different music. I've been saying this from day one. I listen to different genres. Black Eyed Peas was a dope group. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much of a pop head. Dude. I grew up on a lot of '80s pop. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care for '90s pop. I thought '90s pop was not too good. There's a lot of one hit wonders in that era. But I grew up on a lot of '80s pop. You know, a lot of Cyndi Lauper, a lot of Madonna and Prince, Michael. You know, Culture Club. A lot of '80s. You know, I grew up on, man. You know, the Bengals. I love all that shit. So I gotta be true to myself. You know, pop. I do love pop music, but I love '80s pop music more than some of the pop now is cool. I do like artists like Dua Lipa. I thought she had a good album. I like some of the pop that's out now. Not everything, but it's danceable. Yeah, you gotta be eclectic. Like we wouldn't be able to talk about Bad Brains on here and you know Teddy Pendergrass discography. We wasn't listening to different things.
Exactly.
You know, so I love many different genres, and we still have stuff that we haven't talked about yet. Billie Eilish. I listened to Billie Eilish's first album. It was okay. I don't think she deserved to win. Album of the year over Lizzo. To me, Lizzo had a better album. I actually bought the Lizzo album. I thought it was good. But Billie Eilish, I see the type of audience that she's catering to, but she's just not there for me yet. You know what I'm saying? Like her first album was cool. I haven't listened to her second album. Maybe that'll be good. Yeah, Black Flag we're gonna do at some point. That's gonna do the discography for them.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Why box yourself in? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the issue I'm having now in being in the group chat, and they're not where I'm at musically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know how to just keep it one way with them, and with everybody else, I can talk about anything else.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? In Vogue was great, definitely. Rocket, what song was that from? What album was that from? In Vogue?
Yeah, I never heard that rocket track.
Is that new or old? Snow
Yeah, I heard
Allegra.
about her. No,
Yeah, I haven't heard Snow Allegra. I know she did a Tiny Desk performance. I haven't seen it yet. Um, I will definitely check her out. No, I haven't been to any anime conventions. I've been to Comic Con like 5 6 times, but they have anime stuff there. But I haven't been to any just pure anime conventions. It came out in 2018. I didn't even hear the Invoke song. Wow,
shit, no
didn't
down
hear
there.
it. Did not hear it. Who's even in Invoke anymore? The lineup keeps changing.
I know the remaining 3 members and shit.
And Maxine left too, so she's gone.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So it's just Cindy and Terry and the other girl. That's crazy. Remember Pusha T supported Biggie on Untouchable? Untouchable, what's that? What was that? A show or something? I don't know. I didn't see that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Dua Lipa's album was fire. I enjoyed the collab she did with the baby. That was dope. That was actually my ringtone a couple months ago.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it's a dance album. I like dance music, and I think her album is fire. Oh yeah, the Pusher joint, Darkest Before Dawn. Okay. Reg, you want to wrap it up? You looking tired, though.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up soon. I was just reading some more comments and stuff.
Man.
I was just catching up on all these comments, see if I missed anything. I should probably eat something and I would eat sleep.
Right.
Moonflower said, "Do you listen to industrial hip hop?" Not really a big industrial hip hop person. I don't really fit the buck with y'all.
Yeah. She gorgeous too. I like Dua Lipa. I think she started out being a model at first, and then she started singing.
Q said, "You just had Panda Express.
What's that?
It's a restaurant.
Oh, what
An
they sell, like burgers and stuff?
Asian,
Oh, Panda
Asian.
Express.
Yeah.
Wow. Chinese takeout. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, 'cause I know there's one literally up the street from where I stay at too.
But you ever had their food?
Nah. I
No.
don't eat a lot of. There's only certain Chinese, Japanese restaurants I eat from. That's not really one of them. My favorite.
Right. Right. Chinese food.
But yeah, I might just be that part of the night.
Yes.
I'm not a big Charles Hamilton fan. He was over treating
Yeah.
himself.
Me neither.
I don't see the hype for him.
He's still around?
Yeah,
Wow. I haven't heard shit from him in years.
that's the point. But yeah, this has been a dope review.
Yeah, this is dope.
Thursday is the Travel RULE album. That's going to
Yes.
be a very interesting review as well.
Monie Love. Out of print. It's out of print. If you
Yep,
want it, check Discogs or eBay.
yep, both those albums are out of
Yes,
print.
both of them. I need to get the first one with the yellow cover.
Yeah, man. I was thinking Sunday. I wanted to do the Nori album on Sunday.
Oh, N-O-R-E. Nori, get us on Drink Champs, yo. We talking about your album.
I was thinking about that. I'll give you a final answer by
Okay,
Thursday.
cool.
Other than that, yeah, I got one more week till I go on my break and shit. I'm gonna do the
Okay.
Travel album.
While you go on your break, we're gonna record some stuff on my channel.
Yes, sir.
Do something. I got a lot of new stuff that I want to put on there. So
Yes, sir.
peace,
Yes, sir.
Moonflower. Everybody, stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. New Orleans, keep your head up.
Yes,
During
yes.
Hurricane Ida. Yeah, man. Hope everyone has a good night.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, man.